Hello, Leo. Elsie here to do your reading. How are you? It is for the rest of June, Leo. How are you, my fire family? I hope you're well. Thanks so much for clicking here. For the rest of June, we're going to be reading on 3 specific topics. And the first one is, what is shifting for you in June? The second thing is, what needs your attention the most in June? And then the third one is, what is arriving? So what do you have to make space for? What do you got to make room for? Welcome here, my fire family. Thanks so much for clicking here. Don't forget, private reads are open. If you're interested in that, please check the pinned comment. It's the link to Hypsee. Let's find out what's going on for you, Leo. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter signs. What is shifting in June? Oh, you shift into your authority, my friend. It feels like pulling back your energy. No. It feels like you're like, no, now I'm doing this on my own. It almost feels like you're tired of being let down. So you've become the authority on something. You know, it's like the kid who spent most of their life in the hospital and then they become a doctor later so they can help other kids. It feels like, it doesn't have to be that, of course, but I'm talking about the authority energy, which is you standing on business, pulling it back. You now are the emperor. You're the person who's making unilateral decisions. Don't tell me what to do. You're not asking anybody for help. Tell me what needs your attention the most in June. Okay, so there's a tower about to show up. There's a quick shift or something you're not expecting that is going to be a bit of a disruption in your life in the month of June here. We'll talk more about that because I'm going to put down tarot after this. Tell me more about what is arriving for you. What do you need to make room for, friend? Got a shadow here. So it feels like what you need to make room for is possibly to face something that has been worrying you, scaring you, something that you are unsure about. It feels like what you need to do is face something and get it out of the way, clear the air so you can bring in whatever it is that you want to bring in. So whatever is arriving. I feel like you don't know what's arriving. You might feel like what's arriving is on the way, but it does feel like you'll be facing your shadow. We'll talk more about that. We've got harmony. That is the lovers in the tarot. And then we have patience. I think the message here is for somebody is to be patient with love. It feels like there is something here that is growing and it will grow slowly. There is a seed in the hand, right? And it feels like this thing that is growing, this person sees the future in it or sees the potential in it, the potential for it to be really healing and really stable. And so I feel like in the future, you might meet someone if you haven't met someone yet, but harmony here, of course, is making a choice as well, because the lovers is about choosing someone or something, or choosing to plant a seed, being patient, and waiting for the moment of alchemy when everything shifts in your favor here. Let's talk about Leo, the rest of June, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Leo becoming the emperor. I think you're stepping into June being in charge of the self. Feels like you're like, no. When this person here's got their arms crossed, right? So that is the energy of someone who's like, come at me, bro. You're not going to get past me. I feel like you're in a very stable place in your life right now where you're able to make decisions where you don't have to ask anybody for anything. I am just going to do what I'm going to do. Yeah, Aries. When I see Aries, it's more about asking for forgiveness and not asking for permission. Tell me about authority. Tell me about the Emperor. We have the Moon energy coming up under the Emperor. So I think that you feel the shift. I'm going to say before it arrives. This feels like a little bit of psychic energy, if I'm being honest. We've got the Page of Cups. It feels like your intuition is pinged. Something is about to surprise you. You know that feeling of sitting on the sofa and you keep looking out the big bay window. You keep looking outside saying, what is that? I thought that car was for me, or I thought that thing was showing up, or I thought that was my delivery guy, but it wasn't. It feels like you're waiting for something to show up. And I think that you don't like surprises. I'm going to say I'm probably talking to a Leo who doesn't like surprises, but I feel like you're about to be surprised. I feel like that's why the moon energy is here. It's uncertain. Things are not as they seem, and you feel like, oh, I hate those damn surprises. What's about to surprise me? But look, we do have the Tower right here. I think you're feeling through the ground, the stability that you've created for yourself, that something is about to shift. And I think you don't like surprises, but I think you will be surprised. Tell me about this. Yeah, the Fool is here. Interesting. So it feels like something new, a new opportunity to take a leap into something. Now the thing is that the Emperor doesn't usually take risks. The Emperor is not going to put the entire empire at risk just to jump at something. It feels like you've already checked things out, I'm going to say, because the Emperor doesn't guess. The Emperor doesn't go back and forth or ever does the cha-cha. The Emperor decides. So it feels like there is an opening here. An opening that maybe you're surprised about. You're shocked that there's an opening here, but I think that you felt it was coming. So I don't know what the opening is, but we'll talk a little bit more about that. Tell me about the Fool, the Page of Cups, and the Moon. Oh, Charlie just said I didn't have that on my bingo card. That's what Charlie just said. So Charlie's my guide, by the way. I didn't have that on my bingo card. Okay, Ten of Swords. I feel that you know that there is somebody. It feels like the Ten of Swords is the release. It feels like I have to release this. I have to release it, or that somebody possibly betrays you in order to take a leap. So in order to do something they wanted to do, it almost feels like they make their own decision. I don't think that was on your bingo card. I don't think that this Ten of Swords here is telling me that it might hurt you, or you might feel deceived, or you might feel betrayed. And it might be a shocking betrayal, something that maybe you felt coming. It feels like you were suspicious. You had a suspicion that something was going to happen here. Now, while the Fool is usually exciting, it could be exciting for the person taking the leap, but I don't think that person is you. I feel like somebody else has decided they're going to go on their way. So it almost feels like an ending of something that you're going to need to release. Tell me about the Tower here, this disruption card. Tell me about Leo in the month of June. We're looking at what needs your attention the most. So whatever's about to shift here, don't take your eye off of it, Leo. We've got the Knight of Pentacles. Yes, it does feel like you've been feeling something slowly lurking. Like showing, like, I know that moved. What moved back there? It's like sitting in a dark room, right? I'm wondering, what was that? Like, it feels like you've been, something has been moving really slowly toward you. This moon energy tells me it's vibrational for you, that you suspected that something had been slowly moving toward you here. Tell me about this disruption. Something is coming to an end here. So the Tower and the Death card tells me that there's a major awakening going on here, and it tells me that something here is definitely at its end, but it's transformed you. Oh yeah, it feels like it's transformed you in a way you're like, oh, that's what the intuition is. It could be somebody who's new to your intuition. We do have the end of a friendship, the end of a love ship, the end of something with someone that you've known for a very long time now. It's interesting because I feel like somebody here in your life, whether it's platonic or romantic, is somebody who presented to you in their life as someone who moves slow, who has goals, someone who is very patient. They're more concerned about having the journey than actually getting to the outcome, which means that if this is a romantic thing, somebody's like, oh, I don't care if we ever get married. But I don't think they really felt that way. I feel like things change. It almost feels like there is somebody here who said, yeah, no, that's okay. It's like when you get into a new relationship and that person says they love hockey, but they actually don't. They're just trying to impress you. I feel like this Ten of Swords and the Fool card have something to do with that. It feels like there's a big shift in your life, and the shift ends up being quite a disruption. And the disruption is that somebody isn't who they said they were, and something comes to an abrupt end. And it does feel like you've known this person for a very long time. 6 of Cups. You've got nostalgia with this person. One more card here. Got the 5 of Cups. Look, it's going to make you sad. You're going to feel betrayed. And I feel like you are going to present to people like this. Whatever. It is what it is. It feels like you are not going to really show people how you're actually feeling. Yeah, I think what needs the attention, needs most of your attention, is picking up the pieces after something shockingly shifts that you weren't expecting. The end of something is going to happen really quickly. Could be the end of a friendship, could be the end of a relationship. Maybe you start dating someone and they're giving you this, oh yeah, I don't care if we ever get to the outcome, I just am here for the journey. It feels like that ends without warning, I'm going to say. You get ghosted possibly because the 5 of Cups is here. Feels like a ghosting of some sort, whether this is platonic or romantic, maybe a friendship, maybe a love ship. Tell me about this shadow energy, because it feels like something is arriving and you need to make room for it. So why is the moon energy here? We've got the moon energy in this reading twice. It almost feels like you're having realizations that are going to confirm your intuition, and things are shifting and you're like, I knew it. I knew it. Tell me about the shadow. We've got the 2 of Pentacles. Feels like you have to make a decision. So you can see this card, right? We've got the sun on one side, the moon on the other, facing myself, facing the shadow. That's what it feels like here, that you have to face yourself and make some sort of a decision. The Empress is in the reverse. And we have the Queen of Swords. Ooh, boy. All right. So it does feel like you are kicking someone out of your life. It feels like someone is not living up to their potential. I think that you saw them as the Empress, because you're the Emperor, right? It feels like you saw them as the Empress. You pursued them because you thought that that's what they were, what they portrayed themselves to be. But I think what ends up happening here is you are forced to make a decision to push this person out of your life, to make room. And I think you have to do it with the Queen of Swords energy. It almost feels like you catch someone in the act. You catch someone being dishonest. You figure out their story. Somebody here is not being truthful or honest to you, but because you're a person who I feel is a good detective, I feel like you figure it out. You're kind of psychic a little bit, Leo, being a fixed sign, and so I feel like nobody can really get one past you. They might for the first few minutes, but I feel like once you figure it out, then you start investigating it. I'm going to say that I feel like you liberate yourself. I feel like the Empress is a fake-ass Empress. And what I mean by that is somebody who's looks great on the outside, but they're just a hollow thing on the inside with a marble rolling around. Somebody here, once you saw them for who they really were, I think that you had to make a decision that you didn't see coming. The shadow energy here, the moon energy, you didn't think you'd have to make this decision because you thought it was all harmony, right? Patience. You were having patience to see where this was going to go. Tell me one more card, please. We've got the Page of Wands. Yeah, something becomes unreliable. I think that's why the Empress might be in the reverse. Something that was stable, someone that you thought was stable, someone that you thought was very independent, made their own money, carried their own wealth, someone who carried their own abundance. It feels like all of a sudden it crumbles to the ground and you see this person for who they are. They're actually quite immature. There's somebody who speaks rudely to people. When I see swords and immature Page of Wands energy, it feels like messages showing up that are really immature but sharp. It feels like this person starts to make you realize that possibly you had made the wrong decision. The Tower is showing up because you're a fixed sign, and I think that possibly you wouldn't have moved unless the universe moved you. And this Page of Wands tells me that this person becomes unreliable. The whole situation becomes unstable. It feels like now you have to face your shadow. It's almost as if you have to say, well, I guess I made the wrong decision here. It feels like I made the wrong choice. I was being patient, hoping it was going to work out. So I feel like ultimately this person ends up being someone who is quite shallow, I'm going to say, because the Empress is quite deep and connected. This person seems like they're all talk and no action, because the Queen of Swords is here, but so is the Page of Wands. I think you're the one that makes a decision to take the leap of faith and listen to your intuition, and then the Tower disrupts everything. So it does feel like this is a very changing, shifting time. I don't think everything implodes, to be honest with you, Leo, but I think you knew it was coming. I think you saw the signs. I think you knew it was coming. I think you just wanted harmony. You wanted to keep it on track because you've known this person for a really long time. Maybe this is a long-term relationship, or maybe this is a long-term friendship, but it does abruptly come to an end once you realize that this person isn't really who they said they were. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk more about this. How does the Tower come about? How does this rock your authority? Do you get, is this deception or is this betrayal? It feels like you didn't see it coming, but you felt it, but you didn't say it out loud. We'll talk all about that. I'm also going to put down 3 cards here. If you're interested in coming into the extended, please look at the pinned comment at the top of all the comments. You will see a link there for the membership. That's where all of the extendeds go. You will get 4 extendeds in a month, and more than that if you're watching more signs than that. Also, private reads, right? The link to Hypsee will take you to the private reads area where you can look at my prices and packaging. All right, let's find out what's going on here. I'll put down 3 cards to go into the extended with. Ooh, the Wheel of Fortune, damn. Oh my goodness, this is really a month of change for you. But you know what? It doesn't rock you off your center. I'm going to say you remain the Emperor. No matter what changes, no matter what comes here that's destiny, no matter what changes, no matter what obstacles are showing up for you here, it doesn't shake your foundation. I think you're solid, man. I think you're really solid. Look, you can be the Emperor. The Emperor is a masculine leading energy, but listen, there are women out there who lean with their masculine energy. So pick your side, right? One more. We have the 3 of Cups. You know what? You made the right decision by cutting someone out of your life. I feel like you slammed the door closed here. Feels like you realized that this person isn't the person you thought that they were. But I feel like you were facing your shadow at the time, which means that you didn't know what to believe. You're trying to face the dark parts of you. Yeah. And I think that when the Tower comes along, it's almost like a blessing. I always say that the Tower comes as mercy, because you're in a place that you could have been spiraling into more and more, right? This person could have really pulled down all the walls of your empire. They may have looked like someone who could handle it, but when it comes down to it, they were super immature and very harsh with their words. So we're going to go into the extended. If you want to be there, it was through observation you learned it. If you want to be there, then please click on the link to the membership, and we're going to go there. And I'm grateful to be able to read for you today. I'm going to be back because I'm always back. See you in the extended or not. See you then. Bye-bye.